Chowen's story begins with a haunting blend of innocence and horror. As a young boy, he discovers he possesses an overwhelming psychic ability. Mind control. This power, however, is more a curse than a gift. His mother, terrified by its implications, forces him to wear a blindfold to suppress his abilities. Yet the blindfold cannot shield him from the brutality of their home life. Chowen and his mother live under the oppressive shadow of his abusive father. One fateful day, pushed to the edge by years of torment, Chowen's suppressed rage erupts. He compels his father to commit suicide. This act, though born of desperation, drives an irreparable wedge between him and his mother. Horrified by her son's actions, she tries to kill him. Betrayed and heartbroken, Chowen defends himself and flees, leaving behind the remnants of his broken family. Years pass, and Chowen grows into a man shaped by pain and mistrust. His psychic abilities become tools for a life of crime. He steals with ease, using his powers to bend others to his will, and isolates himself in a luxury hotel, devoid of meaningful connections. The toy figurine he carries is his only link to the innocence he lost. In stark contrast, Qnam's life is one of humility and warmth. He works at a scrapyard with his close friends, Ali, a Turkish immigrant, and Bubba, from Ghana. Despite his modest lifestyle, Qnam is a beacon of optimism. On the eve of his birthday, his life takes a dramatic turn when he is struck by a car. Astonishingly, he recovers quickly, hinting at his extraordinary resilience. His recovery comes at a cost. He loses his job but finds solace in a new one at Utopia, a quaint pawn shop run by the kind-hearted Youngsik and his spirited daughter Youngsuk. Qnam quickly bonds with them, finding a second family in their warmth. The tranquility of Utopia is shattered when Chowen arrives, his presence dark and foreboding. He enters the pawn shop with an unsettling calm, his psychic powers creating an invisible tension that seems to suffocate the room. Youngsik and Youngsuk, unaware of the danger, initially greet him with the kindness they extend to all customers. But the atmosphere changes instantly as Chowen's eyes narrow, and with a single thought, he paralyzes everyone in the shop. Their bodies freeze mid-motion, eyes wide with confusion and fear, completely at the mercy of Chowen's will. Chowen walks up to Youngsik and demands the shop's money, his tone cold and commanding. Youngsik, unable to resist, reaches for the cash register. Youngsuk is horrified but helpless, tears streaming down her motionless face. However, the moment Chowen tries to seize control of Qnam, something unexpected happens. Qnam doesn't freeze. Instead, he stands firm, his expression a mix of confusion and defiance. Chowen's confidence falters for a split second, his shock evident. "You're different," he mutters, his voice tinged with both intrigue and irritation. Realizing Qnam's resistance, Chowen decides to eliminate him. The fight begins with Chowen manipulating Youngsik and Youngsuk, using them as unwilling puppets to attack Qnam. Qnam is forced to dodge and restrain his friends without harming them, a heartbreaking struggle that tests his resolve. Chowen, growing increasingly frustrated, hurls objects around the shop with telekinetic force, turning the once cozy space into a chaotic battlefield. As the fight escalates, Chowen's tactics grow more ruthless. He uses his powers to make Youngsik stab Qnam, the knife plunging into his side. Despite the excruciating pain, Qnam refuses to back down. He shields Youngsuk from harm while enduring blow after blow. At one point, Chowen directs an exposed electrical wire toward Qnam, sending a jolt of electricity through his body. The sparks illuminate the shop, casting eerie shadows as Qnam collapses to the ground. Tragically, in the midst of the chaos, Youngsik suffers a fatal injury. Whether by Chowen's direct command or as collateral damage, his lifeless body falls to the floor, leaving Youngsuk screaming in despair. The sight of Youngsik's death drives Qnam to summon every ounce of his strength. Despite his injuries, he rises to his feet, bloodied but unbroken. His resilience is nothing short of supernatural, and for the first time, Chowen's confidence wavers. Realizing he cannot break Qnam, Chowen retreats, leaving the shop in ruins. Qnam collapses beside Youngsik's body, clutching his wounds but unable to process the loss. The once warm sanctuary of Utopia is now a scene of devastation, its shattered remnants mirroring Qnam's grief and the weight of the battle that has only just begun. Haunted by Youngsik's death, Qnam becomes consumed by the need to bring the sinister Chowen to justice. Determined and unwavering, he enlists the help of his loyal friends, Ali and Bubba, who stand by his side despite the dangers. The trio scours the city for evidence of Chowen's movements and manages to obtain crucial CCTV footage that might finally expose his crimes. However, their mission is far from straightforward, as Chowen, aware of their pursuit, unleashes his deadly abilities to stop them. Chowen's powers allow him to manipulate the minds of others, Turning them into his unwitting pawns, he incites a violent mob to attack Qnam and his friends, overwhelming them with sheer numbers amid the chaos. Qnam realizes he must act alone to protect his friends and press forward. His unyielding resolve gives him the strength to face the crowd and eventually confront Choen in a brutal showdown. Despite the odds, Qnam manages to subdue Choen and bring him to the police. Believing the nightmare is finally over, however, Choen's powers prove to be too much for the authorities. In mere moments, he bends the officers to his will, turning them into puppets who unwittingly allow him to escape. Qnam is left devastated but refuses to give up. The chase resumes, leading them to a metro station, where Choen demonstrates the true extent of his malevolence. He seizes control of a mother standing on the platform, commanding her to throw her infant onto the train tracks. Qnam reacts with unparalleled bravery, diving onto the tracks to save the child. He succeeds in rescuing the infant, but in doing so, he is struck by the oncoming train. For a moment, all seems lost, but once again, Qnam defies death. Bloodied and battered, he pulls himself from the wreckage, his unyielding spirit refusing to be extinguished. The harrowing encounter only strengthens Qnam's resolve. He vows to end Choen's reign of terror, even if it costs him everything. The battle between the two men becomes not just a fight for justice, but a clash of wills that will test the limits of Qnam's endurance and determination. Determined more than ever to stop Choen, Qnam reunites with Ali and Bubba, who refuse to abandon him despite the escalating danger. Together, they channel their ingenuity and resourcefulness to prepare for the next confrontation. Ali modifies an old van, reinforcing it to serve as both transport and protection, while Bubba constructs a makeshift flare gun designed to disrupt Choen's concentration and counteract his mind control powers. Their camaraderie and determination breathe new hope into their mission, even as the odds stack higher against them. Meanwhile, Choen's trail of destruction begins to draw the attention of the authorities. A team of investigators tracks him to his hotel room, but their efforts are futile. Using his powers, Choen ruthlessly eliminates them, leaving behind a scene of carnage. Among the few items he takes with him is a simple toy figurine, an object tied to painful memories of his past. This small keepsake offers a fleeting glimpse into the man behind the monster, hinting at the trauma that shaped his dark path. Choen's spree escalates further when he robs a bank with cold precision, leaving no witnesses behind. Flush with stolen cash, he makes an unexpected visit to his estranged mother. Despite the deep well of resentment and hatred he harbors for her, he chooses to spare her life, leaving behind a large sum of money. This moment reveals a crack in his otherwise impenetrable facade, a lingering trace of humanity that contrasts starkly with his violent deeds. Torn between vengeance and an unspoken longing for connection, Choen's inner conflict becomes increasingly evident. As Choen continues his reign of terror, Qnam, Ali, and Bubba prepare for their next encounter. Knowing it may be their last, each step brings them closer to a confrontation that will test not only their physical strength but also their resolve and faith in each other. For Qnam, the fight is no longer just about justice. It is about proving that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, the light of human courage and compassion can prevail. The final confrontation between Qnam and Choen is set against the grim backdrop of an abandoned apartment complex. Choen uses his psychic powers to torment Qnam in unimaginable ways, forcing several innocent bystanders to take their own lives. These horrifying acts are designed to break Qnam's spirit, leaving him helpless and filled with despair. Outside, Qnam's loyal friends, Ali and Bubba, make a desperate attempt to stop Choen by ambushing him with a flare gun. However, their plan fails as Choen easily overpowers them with his abilities, capturing them and adding another layer of devastation to Qnam's ordeal. On the rooftop of the complex, Choen stages a chilling spectacle. He hangs Qnam, Ali, and Bubba from nooses, their lives dangling in the balance. Despite Qnam's desperate struggle to break free, he is unable to save his friends. Ali and Bubba tragically lose their lives, leaving Qnam overwhelmed by grief and guilt. Their sacrifice, however, fuels his determination to bring Choen to justice. The chase continues into the bustling city streets, where Choen kidnaps Yang-suk and causes chaos by orchestrating a massive traffic accident. Using his powers amid the destruction, Qnam narrowly survives, guided by the spirits of Ali and Bubba, who help him activate a speed booster in his van to catch up with Choen. The final unfolds on a stormy rooftop, where the torrential rain and howling wind mirror the intensity of the confrontation. Qnam, battered and bleeding from his earlier struggles, stands face to face with Choen, his nemesis. Choen, as cold and calculating as ever, taunts Qnam, trying to break his resolve with cruel words and displays of his psychic power. Despite being physically and emotionally drained, Qnam's unrelenting determination shines through. He refuses to back down, fueled by the memories of his fallen friends, Ali and Bubba, and his desire to protect Yang-suk. Choen attacks relentlessly, hurling debris and using his telekinesis to keep Qnam at a distance. Qnam fights back with sheer grit, relying on his willpower and resourcefulness to close the gap between them. The battle becomes a test of endurance, with Choen's confidence slowly cracking as Qnam refuses to give up. In a final, desperate move, Qnam lunges at Choen, grappling with him as they tumble toward the edge of the rooftop. Choen struggles to break free, using his powers to push Qnam away. But Qnam's grip is unyielding. With one last burst of strength, Qnam tackles Cho. Off the roof, the two plummet to the street below in a heart-stopping moment. The impact is fatal for Choen, whose body lies lifeless amidst the wreckage. In an almost miraculous twist, Qnam survives the fall once again, his unbreakable spirit seemingly defying the laws of nature. As Qnam rises slowly from the ground, bruised but alive, he spots Choen's toy figurine nearby. Picking it up, he reflects on the tragic path that led them both to this moment and their shared loneliness and pain. Qnam sees the faint shadow of a connection. In another life, he murmurs, "We might have been friends." Qnam, standing amidst the rain, a symbol of resilience and humanity, victorious not only in defeating Choen but in holding on to his own sense of hope and compassion. The story concludes with Qnam in a wheelchair, now a quadriplegic. He meets Yang-suk, who has fulfilled her dream of becoming a flight attendant. Despite his condition, Qnam's indomitable spirit endures. When a child falls onto the train tracks, Qnam seemingly regains his mobility and saves the child, hinting at yet another miraculous recovery. The tale ends with a message of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of humanity in the face of adversity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more movie breakdowns. See you in the next one.